We're in Warsaw, Poland, which, in my opinion, is the best city in Europe, certainly the best country in Europe right now. We're going to talk about how to get high paying clients as a 3D artist, because I got a really important question from a member of the Digitally Enhanced Club. And I want to make more videos about subjects like this because if we're going to talk about Blender, we're beating a dead fucking horse. We already got 350 videos about Blender. I think most people right now, or most people that watch my videos now, they're more interested in how do you get clients, how do you monetize your 3D modeling skills, how do you use these skills to actually make a living, how do you make some money, whether you're looking for a little side hustle or whether you're looking to make a living out of this from clients, from studio employment, or whatever the case may be. I want to make a little bit more content about this type of stuff. All right, now if you guys want to have more conversations about this subject with myself or with other people who are on the same road, this is exactly what we do inside the Digitally Enhanced Club. So if you need some personalized help with your journey as a 3D artist or as any other sort of digital professional, if you want to start making some money with your digital skills, then check out the Digitally Enhanced Club with the link below, and you're going to be around a bunch of people and you're going to have a lot more content which is discussing exactly this type of stuff, particularly for 3D artists, but also for other sorts of digital professionals. Now, the question that I've received from this particular student was, how do you get high-paying clients? How do you get high three-figure or low four-figure clients? He's not talking about no $100,000 projects. He's wondering, how do you get the $700, $800, $900 projects, $1,000, $1,100, $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 projects from single clients? And this question came from somebody who already has a little bit of experience with some clients as a 3D artist, but it was multiple smaller projects and it was mainly for clients, as he told me, which he had for some video editing services, and then he managed to upsell them by somehow incorporating his 3D modeling skills into this video editing service that he was providing for his client, and he made a total of $600. But like I said, it was scattered over multiple smaller projects. So now he wants to know, how do you get the big stuff? And that's what we're going to talk about today, because I'm going to give you guys a little story for my first experience getting a four-figure client as a 3D artist. And this was back in the day when I was first starting my YouTube channel, and this is something that I also teach you guys inside the Digitally Enhanced Club, because I think everybody should be doing the same thing, okay? So I'll tell you what happened to me, and you can do with that information whatever you want. You can figure out how this works. This is one of many examples of how you can get clients as a 3D artist. So some of you guys are going to remember, I think this was in 2021, maybe 2022, probably 2022 at the early phase of the year. I made a video on my YouTube channel called Supercar Interior Modeling or something like that. I made a video of a Ferrari interior, okay? And I showed the whole process. I was shirtless, I was cussing, I was just having a good time, just trying to show this 3D modeling workflow for how I made this car, and let's see what happens, okay? And I think this was also the first video where I came out on camera, but that's besides the point. At this stage, my YouTube channel had about 5,000 subscribers, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. I can't really remember. It's besides the point. But the point is that I wasn't by any means a YouTube star. I don't consider myself a YouTube star or anything like that. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. But at this point, I had a little bit of YouTube presence, 5K, which from my perspective now, it's really easy to accomplish. I think everybody can get a couple thousand of followers or subscribers. But anyway, I made this video and I showed the entire process, and it was a cool thumbnail and everything. And if you would look up Blender car modeling, maybe this is not the case anymore, but this was something that would come up in one of the first search results. And when I published this video, a couple of months later, I got an email from somebody who sent this email from their company, right? So it was like a company email. And they reached out to me in broken English. I'm not going to reveal any personal details or anything like that, but they reached out to me in pretty broken English, and they wanted me to, they said they saw my car modeling video and they wanted me to teach them about 3D modeling. Aryan, I like this video. Can you please teach me one-on-one coaching about 3D modeling? I want to make some cars as well. And at first, it seemed a bit sketchy, because normally when you get an email with fucked up English, fucked up sentences, everything's a fucking mess, I get a little bit suspicious, right? I don't really take these people too seriously right off the bat, because most of the time when you get this, it's hard to take this person seriously when they didn't even take the time to form proper sentences and you know, conduct themselves like a professional. Even if you're not that good at English, you have all the information that humanity has ever produced in your pocket right now. You got Translate, you got fucking Also, anyway, that's besides the point. But they reached out to me and they wanted me to teach them about 3D modeling. And for me, I was broke as fuck at the time. I mean, I wasn't broke, but I was working minimum wage. I wasn't really making any money from anything else. So for me, it was like, shit, let's do it, right? Of course, it'd be a pleasure for me. So it was very exciting for me. But I checked them out, and it turns out that this person was actually legitimate, right? So they had a business in Dubai where they were kind of modifying cars, right? And if you check out the Instagram page, it's not just cars, it's fucking supercars. You'll see Lambos, you'll see Bentleys, you'll see Ferraris, you'll see whatever, you name it, right? All sorts of supercars come to this shop and they get some sort of modification done, they get their interior redesigned or whatever, and then they leave and now they got a cool whip to bust around the city, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, this is a pretty cool connection. I've never spoken to somebody like this before. I've never been in a position where I can speak to a person doing something like this. And I also really like cars, so for me, this was pretty cool. And we exchanged numbers and we talked back and forth. And then after a little bit of conversation and a little bit of, pre-coaching preparation and all this, this person realized that Blender is not that easy, and it's not as easy as they thought. They wanted to learn Blender for a car modeling project for their client, but it turns out that this is actually pretty difficult to learn. So they realized, okay, there's no time for this shit. Let me just hire this guy tomorrow to do the 3D modeling job for me, right? So we talked about what the job is, and they had a client, so some baller, I don't know what the person's business was. They had multiple businesses, this client of theirs, right? He had like a clinic, he had like some restaurants or something like that. So big money from my perspective at the time anyway. And this person wanted to get this van redesigned on the inside. You know, when you see this like super luxurious interior of a van, it looks like you're flying first class, but it's customized. It's like, it's super fancy shit. And that's kind of what this client wanted from the person that reached out to me. And then they wanted something original in the style of their offices and all this. So I thought, okay, well, that's gonna be pretty cool. I can do this, no problem. But it's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of hours. So I told them, listen, man, this shit's not gonna be cheap. They said, no problem. And I told them, okay, how much? I thought about an hourly rate, how many hours it could take. I tried to be on the more reasonable side. I tried not to knock up my price too much because it's a person who I thought had money. So I tried to be reasonable. I said, okay, 1,500. Let's negotiate. They were like, deal. I probably could have gotten more than that. But anyway, at the time, for me, this was certainly a lot of money. Certainly for being a 3D artist, right? Because I'd never really made any significant money out of this before. I made some smaller projects for people, right? But I'd never had a project which was like this. And then we got to work and we got the project done and everything was great. Now, it turns out that, between me and this particular person, things didn't end too well. I don't want to get into that, but the point that I'm trying to make for you guys here is that if you just put your work out there, you never know who's going to reach out to you. I had no fucking idea that this type of person even existed. It didn't even cross my mind that something like this could happen. I thought, okay, maybe someone's going to subscribe to my channel. So 10 years down the line, I don't know, maybe I can have a business out of this. That's how I was thinking at the time. And before you know it, you get an email, somebody wants to hire you for $1,500 job, okay? Which took me about, I don't know, probably like 2 weeks to complete. I wasn't, I also had full-time or part-time work on the side. I was also studying. So for me, this was just something on the side. Now imagine if you can stack up more clients like this. So you understand what I'm saying. You can make a living off of this type of shit. So I just wanted to share that story with you guys about how by just putting your work out there on social media, you don't have to make videos like me and be like me, showing my face on the internet. That's not really necessary, although I think it's a lot better if you do that. But if you just figure out a way to put your works out there on social media, you're going to get all sorts of people reach out to you. And just think about the kind of connections that you can get through a person like this, all right? If everything turned out very well, and if we didn't have the little friction that we had, me and this particular person, this could have easily been a very fruitful relationship where I could have easily went out there to the city and spoke to this person and met all kinds of new people through them and probably got a whole bunch of other work through them. And if I met other people, they can hook me up with some more work. They can put me in some other circles. So just because I put out a video where I was shirtless, where I was cussing, where it wasn't a video that somebody would consider professional, right? I have all these people comment on my videos, you're unprofessional because you cuss and you're shirtless and you got tattoos and all this and that's unprofessional, right? Out of Dubai, and then they're talking shit on my comments. Then that doesn't matter, because what happens is as long as you can get the job done, and people like you because you seem like you're being your honest self, people are gonna want to work with you. Nobody cares if you're cussing. Look, I'm over here cussing. You're still watching my fucking video. Half my videos I'm shirtless. People are subscribing to my channel. People are reaching out to me for all sorts of reasons. They reach out to me from a publishing house. They reached out to me from all sorts of places. I've been able to network with all sorts of people just because I'm producing content on the internet. So I just wanted to give you guys a little example of an easy way that you can get all sorts of connections, that you can get all sorts of high-paying clients. So I think this is something that is very easy to do and everybody should be doing. If you're not putting your works out there as a digital professional, I don't know how you imagine this is gonna work out, but I'm telling you, if you're doing something, even if you're not doing something digital, whatever kind of business you're running, which you are, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but if you're trying to sell your 3D services online and get clients, you're trying to run a business. If you're trying to run a business, you have to be marketing yourself. How are you going to do that? You're going to put a billboard on the fucking highway? You're going to put an advertisement on television? You're not going to do that. What you're going to do if you're smart is you're just going to open up an Instagram account. You're going to open up a little YouTube. You're going to open up a little LinkedIn or whatever. You're going to post your works there. You're going to engage with your audience. You're going to build your brand. You're going to get attention to yourself. And before you know it, someone's going to hire you. And before you know it, you're now in a position where you can talk to other people, you can reach out to them, you can collaborate with them in all sorts of ways. And there you have it. So this is a strategy that we're teaching inside the Digitally Enhanced Club. And right now we're running a challenge for another week where we're having everybody post short form content. So we taught everybody how to post short form content with their 3D modeling. And now we're having everybody post that every single day. And everybody's competing in who's going to get the most views, who's going to get the most followers. Because in my opinion, this is the equivalent of being literate. If you can't put your works out there, if you can't present yourself as a 3D artist, you don't stand a fucking chance. I think this is something that's absolutely mandatory, and everybody should be doing this. So let me know what you guys think about this method. I'm probably not gonna read all the comments as I said in the last video, but you know, it's always good when there's all sorts of debates going on in the comments below. Someone's definitely gonna figure out a way to get mad at what I was saying. So if there's anybody mad at what I'm saying, please by all means go ahead and write it down, and then it's gonna be an interesting debate. So just remember, when you get mad and you try to insult me on my videos and all this, it helps me because you're boosting my engagement. So by all means, go ahead. Anyway, let me know what you want to see next. If you want to ask me a question, you can ask me on Instagram, or you can also speak to me personally inside the Digitally Enhanced Club. I'll see you in the next one.